Hello and welcome to my stamp studio. How are all of you? Did you have a good weekend? Oh, as you can tell, I got a little sun. I'm a little sunburned. Yeah, we went on the boat yesterday and we watched the air show. So it was really cool. So we got to see some of the Italian, I don't know what their flight crew is called. And we got to see the Thunderbirds, and it was just amazing because we were right on the lake, and they were like zipping all over across us and right above us. It was so fun. Yeah, so I'm just getting all my Facebook stuff ready. Just need to make sure I'm there and I'm broadcasting so you all can see. For some reason, I lost my Facebook channel here. So let me just go in and get that started. Say hi. Let me know if you're here. Okay, there I am. Let's put mute on. Let's expand that out. Sorry, I had something in my eye there. Okay, we're going to comment. So, well, hello, Amy. Make sure you join me. How are you this evening? So we're going to be doing our say that once. Our sophisticated sled craft along tonight. And how is this different from other virtual classes that I do? Well, this is actually one that I offer ahead of time. So if you want, you can purchase the class ahead of time. You get all the class supplies that you need so that you can craft along with me tonight. Now, there is another deal. So you can still get the class after the video tonight. So you can get a class kit, or if you want the full class with all the embellishments and everything, just let me know that. I'll be sending that out in an email tomorrow. So if you do want it, you can sign up for it. And let's see. The free with purchase portion of it is if you spend $40 in my online store using the host code that I will be sharing with you and also linking in the comments and description. You can get the card kits for free. It's my thank you to you for purchasing in my store. So you can get anything that you want, and I will send you these cards. The caveat is I will not do any of the die cutting that is related to the sophisticated sled. All right, so you need to stamp set and dies or something that's coordinating. All the other dies and embossing and stuff like that, I'll already have done for you. So as I pull out my card kits, you will see the card kits and what you get in them. And yeah, so if you purchase a $40 order, I will send you those as my thank you. If your order is over $50, you get the $5 bonus coupon from Stampin' Up! As long as you submit your order before July 31st. All right. Now, my ordering special for the card kit is going through August 1st. So just so you're aware. If you order on August 1st, yes, I will send you the card kits, but no, you won't get the bonus coupon. So order before the 31st, all right? Get yourself an extra $5 that you can spend in August. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to flip down because we are going to be crafting for quite a while tonight, and I do want to be able to give that time to the card making instead of me just chit-chatting with you. All right, I'll chit-chat during the card making, don't worry, but we're going to really focus on what we're doing with the cards. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes. I'll let you know when to look up. All right, here. I just need a moment to get it just a little bit further out. And I think we're okay. Let me just see. I just want to move my board up here so I know I'm fully in focus. There. Okay. All right. Oops, I just lost it again. I just shut down. I moved my mouse and it closed everything out. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So I will also display this host code again later if you want to take a quick note of it. It's a link to my Stampin' Up! Store, my online store, and this is the host code you'll use. I wish I could come up with some fun phrase, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to DVD. DVD for Act B. I don't know. You come up with something and share it. Okay. I'm just kind of waiting for a couple other people that purchased the craft along to pop on. Hopefully they're able to make it. I know some of them were not going to be. They'll be watching the replay or the YouTube post of it. I am trying to get myself set up so that I can go live on YouTube and stream it to Facebook at the same time. I didn't quite get the process down this weekend. I got involved with the grandkids, so I didn't do it when I had a free day. So I'll be playing around with that. And let's get started on our class. So this is the tutorial that you'll get. I will probably resend this with the link. Well, actually, you'll get an email with the link in it anyways. If you purchase this after the fact, after this class tonight, I'll make sure the link to this video is in there, also the YouTube video. All right, so let's go over what we're going to be doing and what was in our kit. So this is my version of the kit, okay? So it's not quite as nice as what you would have received. You would have received a full pack of In Color Jute. You would have received a full pack of the 3 tinsel gems. If for some reason you don't have the tinsel gems here, I did have to substitute because Stampin' Up! Was out of them for a little while when I was putting that ordering special in. So you have, oh, I can't even find them now. You have a different set of gems, which coordinate perfectly fine with the projects. I think I sent my last one out. Hold on, let me just see if I have a pack of them. Well, you all know what you got. I believe the tinsel gems are back in, so I should be able to get those out. I've just got to order those, so because I don't have anything on hand. Oh, yeah, you'll either have received these or these, one of the two. Okay. So those of you that received the alternate, you were notified of that before I sent it to you. Okay, now in addition to that is our card kits. So these are our 4 card kits. I always put them in their envelopes. I think most of yours I should have numbered. I'm hoping I did. But I usually put them in the order that I have them in the tutorial. So just lift your envelope. So don't take everything out and spread it all over your table. Leave it in the envelopes until you're ready to get creating for that card. You also received some designer series paper. So this is a half pack of the Winter Meadows. You received a 6x6 silver foil sheet. And as a bonus, you received a sheet of adhesive, the adhesive sheet. Okay. Just because you'll need it for your projects. So I thought, oh, I'll just add a little bonus in there. And then for those of you that ordered before, this will not be available for ordering now forward. You also did get some snow puff accents. So if you want to put some snow puffs on your card, I will show you how to use that at the end of the video. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put this right here along with this. So I make sure to show you. I actually have an open one. So let me grab my open one. I don't feel like opening a whole brand new one. I'll leave that right there, and hopefully I remember to do that. All right, so for our first card, everything is cut, but you will need to have cut your designer series paper. I don't need this full pack of this, so I can move that off to the side. And for the first card, I'll show you the card that we're going to be making. We will need your little piece of silver foil, so cut yourself a little piece. You'll need the white. Let's just move this out of the way. I'll move these things out of the way. All right, let me show you your pieces in here. So you have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Just go ahead and fold it in half. You have a piece of Misty Moonlight. Right. Now we'll need to cut a piece of our designer series paper. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Let me just see. Of opening this one, just in case someone wants that one. I'm going to grab my already opened package here. And I am looking for this like kind of wintry scene here. And so I'm giving you time to craft along with me. So on the other side of it is this. So let me tell you, we're going to get that cut. Oh, what did I do with my trimmers? I put everything away this weekend and kind of rearranged. And I was setting myself up for my tent sale and my mystery box sale, trying to get all that ready. And I kind of rearranged the room, which is kind of a stupid thing for me to do, but I kind of like how I rearranged it. I can get to things better while I'm sitting in one spot, and I don't have to drag things away. I can put them away right away. All right, so I'm going to cut my my paper here down to 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So I know my card is this way, so I know that's going to be my 5 1/8 side. I'm going to actually scoot it down to my other end, just because it's easier for me to cut. I'm going to cut actually my 3 7/8 first. Kind of save on my paper a little bit there. And then I'll cut my 5 1/8. All right. So we'll put our scraps right over here for now. We'll come back to them later. What did I move from there? I kind of like that I moved that. Okay. So I'm just going to adhere my, I'm going to move this out of the way too. Adhere my Designer Series paper right to my Misty Moonlight cardstock. Now the directions in the tutorial has pictures, it has a supply list, it has the measurements, and it has your directions. I'm just going to take my seal and I'm going to adhere it right to the front of my card. Hopefully I'm not going too fast for those folks that are crafting along with me. I'm trying to go a little slower. All right, now in your little card kit, you had a piece of the basic white. That's going to be for the inside of your card. You already have a die cut circle, and this is from the Spotted in Nature dies. So you may have to kind of take your roller or take a pick tool and just kind of clean it up a little bit. Because I just die cut these, and put them in your kits. I'm sorry, I don't spend the time getting all those little pieces out. You'll have to do that yourself. All right, some of those little dots are not going to come out, but you know what? That's okay. I'm going to leave them in there. All right, I'm going to actually clean this up right away. That is a piece of cardstock I'm going to be using, but I wanted to get that all cleaned up because I just vacuumed in here. All right, we're going to be doing some die cutting and some stamping. So I'm going to take my crumb cake piece of cardstock and I'm going to use my Early Espresso ink. I'm pulling out my Sled. We're going to be doing a little bit of embossing with this card as well. Peel off this backing and set it aside. I need liquid glue here. There we go. All right. Take this. Put this on my large block. Okay. And we're going to ink this up. Alright, and then I'm just going to stamp right on here. This should fit just right. Give it a good press, kind of smooth it out. I'll lift it up. Now, if you find that you have a little spot that maybe didn't get dark enough, go ahead and take your blends or your marker and just give it a little bit more color. Just a quick way to do that. Okay, we got that piece. Now, put that away. We also have our die cut banner, and that's out of Misty Moonlight, so that will have been done for you. And you should have a little, oh, I'm hoping I put it in yours. You should have a little piece of Misty Moonlight. If you don't, and you haven't already put your paper on, cut it out of that layer. I don't know why I don't have it in this one. I'm really hoping I put it in everyone else's. Okay. If you don't, you can always use any other color for your shoelaces here. Okay, I just need to find a small little piece. I've got some pretty big chunks in here. Again, if you didn't have a small piece in your kit, go ahead and this Misty Moonlight layer that you have before you put this on, you can do die cutting right from the middle of it. Otherwise, use any other color you have. And then you want a little piece of your silver foil. So take a little piece of this. So I'm just going to cut this down. Let's grab our dies out here. So I've got my sled, and I've got my skates, and my skate blades, and my shoelaces. So those are the pieces that you'll need for this card. I need to pop out some of this. Now, I am going to tell you, you want adhesive sheets for this stuff. Not necessarily for the shoelaces this time, but you know, it's not a bad thing to have. So there we go. So what I'll do here is grab my adhesive sheet. I'm going to just put it here. It is. Okay, I've got that. And I've got my skates. So you don't really need a big piece of this. This is really all you need. So what you'll do is you'll just cut 2 small pieces from your paper here. So I'm just going to cut this like this. And I'll cut this one. Let's see. I'm just going to do like a 1x1 square here. That's all I need. And same thing with this. I really could have just done a small little square here too. So what we'll do is we'll peel back our sheet here, and we're going to put our Misty Moonlight here, our silver here. Ooh, I got a little bit of adhesive on there. So once I cut it, I'm going to clean that adhesive off. And then I'm just going to take and trim that off. Just like that. All right, so that piece comes off. This is just a little scrap. We'll just get rid of that. All right. Now, I'm going to take my adhesive remover here and just kind of rub that off. Just because it's bothering me. Just keep rubbing until it all comes off. It'll eventually come off. All right, I'm just going to leave it for now because I have enough of space. It'll take too much time for me to do that while you're watching the video. So I'm going to put this here. I'll put this one here. I'm going to take my piece of white for my skates here. Ooh, it's got junk all over it. And my die here. So let's pull out our, ooh, I got the wrong die. Hold on, please. We want this die. This one we'll use later. All right. So let's get all this run through. I'm pulling my, move these pieces off to the side here so I can bring in my die cut machine. I'll turn that so I can roll it. Bring in our plates. So now you might use your #1 plate. I use the #3 just because with my machine it doesn't like that thick of a sandwich. So I've used my #3 plate on mine. So if you don't have, if your white plate is really hard to kind of crank through, try your #3. All right. So we'll see how this is doing upside down here. All right, I'm just gonna put this down. Yeah, I just moved it. Just move it back a little bit. Run that through. All right, I need to find a different way to do this. All right. So we've got our sled. And we have our little skates. Our laces, our blades. We'll run that all through. I'm going to try to keep this card, the finished card, up in the corner here so you can always be looking at it if you're crafting along ahead. I don't want to do this too slow, but I don't want to do it too fast, like I said, in case people are crafting along. So now I just need to get those out of here. So sometimes you'll need to run this through twice when you're using the adhesive sheets, so run it back and forth. I think I'm okay. We'll find out in a minute. Oh, that didn't. Come on, here we go. All right, so I've got 2 laces. I've got 2 skates. Some little scraps of paper. All right. I'm going to put this all in my little container up here. I'll have to move this all right there so I don't lose all my little pieces. All right, now I want to take a pick tool and kind of poke out those pieces there. I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, we're wasting the adhesive sheet. It's okay. It's a 6x12 sheet. And they're such tiny pieces, I mean, but it's so worth it to use this and not go through the hassle of everything. So I'm just going to leave that one there. When I peel this off, it'll probably pop out all those pieces, but we'll just see what ones we can poke out ahead of time. So notice it didn't completely come out, but when I pull away that adhesive sheet, it should pull all those loose pieces. Okay, so here we go. So let's do our laces first. I'm just going to get the pick tool here and peel that away. Oh, see how much easier that is than using your liquid glue. Now I'm going to take this. There is a little slice in the skates here. Can you see that? So we're just going to slide our shoelace in. I feel like I got a little extra something at the bottom there. I do. Okay. Let me just slide it all the way in. Just like that. Okay. And there you go. So there's one. There'll be a little bit of extra adhesive there, but when we put it on the card, you won't even notice. All right. So now here's my second one. Do the same thing. Notice I have a little piece there, so I'll just pop that piece out. Peace out, man. Sorry. Peace, man. Sorry, I gotta crack myself up. All right, and again, I'm just sliding this in as far as it will go. I got a little snibble in there again. There we go. Okay, so my skates are done. Nope, they're not done. I need the blades on them now. So let's take a pick tool. I want to get that center piece out there. Sometimes when you pull the adhesive sheet in the back, it pulls all those little pieces with it, and sometimes it doesn't. All right, so now I'm just going to take the little corner here and put on my take a pick tool. This will kind of help me layer it better on my skate. All right, now we're done with one skate. And you can make your skate laces whatever color. If you want to have a different color for them, go for it. All right. Again, I've got this one. I'm just lining up that negative space there before I press it down. Make sure it's where I want it, and then I'll press it down. Okay. Next, we're going to take our card base here. I'm going to go ahead and just adhere my circle right onto the card front. So I'm just using my seal here. And put this on just right here. All right. Give it a good rub. You can use your liquid glue for that too if you want. Now I'm going to be adhering my sled at an angle here, right? What you also want to do is we're going to be stamping on this and then heat embossing, and we'll be tucking that underneath the sled before we adhere the sled, all right? So just keep that in mind. Now, I don't know why I was so off on here, so let me just correct this real quick. Must have been because when I do my die cutting upside down, I have a harder time keeping things in place. It's only because I'm doing them upside down for the video, so. All right, here we go. So this will fit if you have it at an angle, okay? Just don't leave it you don't want it over your navy. All right, so now let's go ahead and we're gonna use our Versamark pad, and we're gonna pull in our new embossing powder, which I just got the other week. So I've used my embossing buddy here across the top of my cardstock. That helps prevent it from the static. And we'll go ahead and slide my white out. That's clear. This is white. So this is our new stamping embossing powder. If you have the old stuff will work fine too. All right. And I need a block for our sentiment. And so we're going to do, let's decorate the season with happiness. Pull our stamp set out here. That's not it. That's, I hope. Okay, let's decorate. Here it is. Grab a block. Get my Versamark. Yeah, mine's pretty messy because I accidentally left it open when I was embossing. Now, when I stamp this, I'm going to stamp this more towards the right because I'm tucking part of that left-hand side into underneath my sled. All right, so now we'll bring this in. I'll open this up. I should have done that first. And I'm just going to sprinkle some embossing powder right on there. Now I have my tray to kind of catch whatever doesn't fall into my jar. I'm going to tap it off just a little bit. If I feel like I didn't get enough on there, I'll just add a little more. And I'll dump this back in my little container in just a moment. I'm going to actually set that off to the side. I'm going to grab... What's nice about our containers here is you can get the embossing buddy, the tray, and the little tweezers and a brush as an accessory set. All right, let's bring this in. And those are my embossing plates. No worries. I'll let this warm up for just a second or two before I go to finish my embossing. And you don't want to hover over your plate with your loose powder, because that will blow it all over and melt it. So, and I'm just going to hold it until I see it's all shiny and pretty. It shouldn't be any grainy look left. And sometimes I'll just run across the back just to make sure. There we go. Put this over here. And so now I can do this. Right. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on first. Here's going to overlap right here. And I'll take my sled. I'm just using my seal again here. Angle that just so it doesn't hang off the edge. All right. Now I'm going to bring in my boho blue jute, and we're going to tie a bow. If your jute or linen thread is ever too curly, just take your embossing, your bone folder, and just pull it through like this. If you want it to curl, use the side here. But if you want it straightened out, just use that. So we do want a little bit of tail on here because that's how we're going to attach our skates to make it look like it's hanging there. All right, so I need a little bit smaller bow. I don't want that to twist when it's going through here. All right, and then I just trim it. I leave them long for now. I'm going to adhere this down to my sled with my mini glue dots. Hello, Barbara. So we'll take this here. What you can do is sometimes I roll that up into a little knot. A little log, and then put it on. Don't worry about the tails. You're going to be holding them down with the skates in just a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to put this right here. Come on. Okay, where did my glue dot go? All right, we'll try it again. I'm just going to take it and kind of smush my glue dot behind there. That's usually what works best for me. All right. So now I have these hanging just like that. Now, again, my tails are way longer than I need, but I want to make sure that I get them where I want them. So what I'm going to do is kind of position these here. I'm going to go ahead and add some small dimensionals here. Now, just trying to see, just trying to see if I caught my dimensional with my, did I do there? Okay, I went ahead and add some seal. Okay. Then I went ahead and add some dimensionals. Okay. I'm going to straighten this up. I'm going to pick it up where I want it to be. So that's going to stick to my seal. I'm just going to flip it over and add one more dimensional. This time I'm grabbing a larger one, so it kind of holds right in place. And then before I flip this over onto my card front, I'm going to snip that tail down. And I'll put my skate right here. All right, so it's dangling there. Then I have my other one. Again, I'll just put some of the seal right here. I know my heel and my toe will need a small little dimensional. And I can go a tad higher this time. Flip it over. Once I caught that jute, trim our excess. Okay, we're almost done with this card. And just going to hang it there. Here we go. All right. So that is that piece. We'll add our embellishments in just a moment because we're going to do the inside of our card now. So I'm going to take my inside and I simply am going to, I've done pretty easy things. So I've usually just taken my snowflakes and just decorate around. You could put your skates up there and color that in. So, I mean, we could do that. I don't have that piece in the tutorial. Your inside is however you want to make it. I can just show you some things, that's all. All right, so I'll grab my black here. And just hang my skates from the top edge here. You can leave it like that. You could stamp it with Misty Moonlight and just have them hanging in there, or you can color it. I kind of actually think the Misty Moonlight would have been better. Let's try that. Again, that's the piece I didn't do in your tutorial. I kind of left it up to you how you'd like to stamp your inside. Just cleaning those stamps off because I'll need them again. All right. Let's pull back in our Misty Blue then. We'll see which way we like it better. We can always flip it over. Just saying. That's why I had to order a new Misty Moonlight stamp pad. I don't know why mine is kind of yucky. All right. Kind of like that. That way I don't have to do a lot of coloring. And now my card is done. So I'll just add my adhesive. Put it right on the inside of my card. Just like that. We'll grab our embellishments and decorate however you want. On this one, I mixed them up. I think I'm just going to use the blue this time. So I'll do a small one, a large one, a small one over here. I'm going to do a small one there, and we'll do another large one. Oh, if I can pick it up right here. Okay. All right, so that is your first card in your card kit. Let's go on to the next one. Which now, where did I put them? I moved them so they weren't right there in front of me. Oh, here they are. Here we go. They're right with my envelopes. All right. So this is our next card. And we're staying kind of with the skater theme right here. We are going to be pulling in a couple different dies though this time. So let's get out our little kit. I keep moving things like off my desk so it's not in the way when I'm doing this. All right. So these are your pieces here. We have a piece of our Moody Mauve, and it's already been embossed with the snowflake embossing powder. Now, I like having the snowflake, a lot of the texture up on top, so that's what I'm going to be putting on first. So go ahead and... Now, usually with a embossed piece, if it's a really like intricate shape or lots of grooves and stuff, I will use liquid glue, but this should work just fine. Okay, so now we've got our designer series paper that we need to cut. Let's get that done first. So in your directions, I made sure to pull out all of your, oh, that was dumb of me. Sorry, I was commenting about something else. I listed all of your instructions, your measurements before the directions, so that way you can kind of get a little head start when you're preparing for the craft along. Okay, so we need a piece of designer series paper that measures 3 by 3 1/4. So this is the 3 1/4. It's going to be the long side here. So if you're using pattern paper, just make sure which way you want to go with it. I don't know. They can go really any direction here. Just try and turn my paper around to see where I want to go. All right. So this is my 3-inch side. And now this is my 4-inch side. I'm sorry, 3 1/4 inch side. That is going to be layered onto a piece of shaded spruce here. Oh, sorry, piece of peacock here. Now I'm not going to adhere that down yet, but I am going to just put my designer series paper on. I'm not going to put it to my card front yet. Okay. Now I'm going to take my die cut circle. So you should have a circle in your kit. This is from the Spotlight in Nature dies. So I'm just going to pretty much center that right on the front. I'm going to be layering this towards the bottom, so it's going to make it look longer. So just kind of center that. And we'll go ahead and just use our seal with that. I made a little bit towards the top, but not much. All right, now we are going to do our stamping. So we have a piece of basic white and a banner basic white. So you'll go ahead and stamp with shaded spruce. Let me put this away so it's back where it needs to be. All right. So I want to just see who's all here. Here's my... So for those of you that purchased a craft along and that you're here today, just, give me a shout out. Thank you so much for purchasing it. I hope you really like these. And I hope you find it fun. So every month I'll be doing one of these. And this is like going into detail exactly what I'm doing and how I'm cutting. I'm not giving you all the measurements here now because they're in your tutorial. And it's already been cut for you. What am I looking for? My sentiment set. So on this one, I'm going to stamp, I hope your days are filled with laughter. So let's go ahead and grab that. Danger. All right. And I'm just going to center that right on my banner. Just like that. Okay, we'll clean that off. And I'm going to put these dies right over here, I think. Just so I have it out of the way. All right. Now I'm going to take this larger piece of white here and I'm going to pull back in my skates again and my Memento black ink. Stamp that up. I'll move this out of the way because otherwise I'll get my hand in it. I'm kind of done with the color right now anyways. So let's go ahead and just stamp our little skates. Now I stamped it far enough over just in case I need a scrap later. I got a scrap. All right. Okay, we're ready for die cutting. So we're going to pull our skates out and our little bows there. Oh, we can't see it. Our little bows right here. So we've got this die right here. And we've got our little skates. Now there is a wreath, a sled, a swag, and a little bird in here too. We'll be using some more of those later. Okay. And let's get our little die cut machine. Bring back in our plates. And I'm sorry, I do have to do it this way because otherwise I can't. It's hard for me to cut. So I know you don't see me centering it on right now. I'm just moving it around. And then I have my little piece of Post-it note tape there. And we'll run that through. You know, I had that piece of Post-it note tape there before I even realized where my ties were. Oh well. All right, then we're going to run this one through. Now I can get another piece out of there, so we have a little extra piece. So you can make whatever you want because you'll have leftover designer series paper and jute and everything else to play with. Okay, let's put our dies all up here. Now with this detailed one for the pine boughs, I would have probably should have run that through a second time because sometimes it doesn't quite cut. So ever in doubt with a detailed one, run it through twice before you take the die off. But that one actually turned out okay. But notice I forgot to put my adhesive on there. So that's going to make it a little more challenging. So again, I'm going to go grab my adhesive sheet because that's what I wanted to do in the first place. And so I had that piece cut out already. So I'm just going to go right from there. I'm going to lift up that side. I can get it peeled up. I've got too much stuff on my desk at the moment. just gonna, oh, I meant to grab my pick, not that. I'm just gonna pick that little corner up. And I can just put this piece right on there. Just like that. Just where I ended with the other one. Yeah. Cut that out. This is really helpful stuff, and I definitely wanted to make sure that you had a chance to use it, and this class actually is a perfect one for it, especially with those little skate blades. All right, so if you have extra, just trim it off, because you don't want it to get all glued up in your die cut machine there. Oh, don't know where that piece fell. Probably sticking to me somewhere. Okay, now I can bring back in my die cut machine. We'll run that through. Where'd it go? Oh, well. Oops, I just tore it. I didn't run through twice, I tore it. Oh well. We'll just trim that one little leaf off. No, it's fine. It'll be fine. All right. And I cut my skate. I have my banner cut. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's get assembling our card. So I hope it gave that gave you a little extra time to put your things together. And I'm just gonna peel this off. And just put it at the top of our circle. It doesn't have to be perfect on there. I'm going to take our skates, and I should have colored these before. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry. I'm going to take our Moody Mauve here, and I am just going to color it all in Moody Mauve, and then I'm using the light right now. I'm going to come back and do the dark in just a moment. And I don't know why I completely forgot I was coloring these, because the card was sitting right in front of me. It's much easier to to color before you do your die cutting. But, I mean, this isn't too bad because I've got a place to hang on to it. So I've got those. And then I'm just going to come in and add a little bit of my dark. I'm going to add it right in my shoelace area here. And then right around the heels. And the base of my right in here. Okay. I'll come back in with my light. And I'm just going to use my brush side here. And just kind of pull that dark into my lighter area. If you want to add more light, you can, or dark. So I'm going to add just a little bit more dark. Just want to give my there. Okay. So we got that. I'm going to flip these over. I'm going to add some dimensionals to these. Yeah, we got a little one up here. And I like using a mixture of my, my small and large, because, I really don't always have to have my tiny ones. But there we go. Instead of putting, 6 more tiny ones on there, I can use my larger ones. Here we go. And I'll put that right in the front here. Just like that, kind of having my bow be on that bow right there. They're at a little bit of an angle. Doesn't matter. We can put this onto our card front with some dimensionals. And then we'll be adding our banner and our ribbon, our jute. All right, add that right to the center. Now keep in mind, I'm centering it up here. I'm not centering it down here because I need to add that other piece yet. So I'm just kind of making that even there. I'm going to take my dimensionals and go along the bottom of my banner. So it's a good thing I flipped it over. So just put them right along the bottom edge here. That gives me a little guideline to where I need to slide that up. All right, it's going to be slid up a little further. I just want it to overlap a little bit. So then we're going to make sure it stays tucked under. And there we go. Can't go any further than I did with my dimensionals. So that's why I kind of did that first. I'm going to pull in my jute. So I'm using the Moody Mauve. And I'm going to let it be curly. Kind of a bow. Give it another little tug. We'll take our snippies right here. Okay. And now we're just going to take our glue dot again and adhere that right to the front. Them out of the box already. All right, so I'm just putting my bow right on my glue dot. Now, that glue dot's a little bit bigger than the bow, so I'm just taking my nail to shove it underneath, where you can kind of roll it once you get it off. And then just put it on right there. And it's okay if it's all curly. That's what I kind of wanted for the card. Now, for the inside, I would not recommend stamping and coloring because that will bleed through. So what you can just do is grab, I like just taking my little snowflakes here and just stamping some of that on the inside. You could take a skate, stamp it on the inside too. But I'm just going to stamp in the upper corner here and the lower corner here. And then it leaves me a place to put whatever sentiment I want in there. Now I just need to add my tinsel gems. Let's put these back in their home. Get that in my way. All right, tinsel gems. And this one I did use a variety of colors on. You can choose whichever you would like to do. I just thought it was kind of fun. They have some different colors. Now, I know this is fresh freesia, but it really does go well with the Moody Mauve. Right over here. And I feel like I need one right over here. And let's see. Let's put another one. Use one right here. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If you want more, add more. Feel free. You have a full package of that, so you can do whatever you'd like. All right. That's card 2. Our third card here has our shaded spruce. Again, all of your pieces are there. So you have your card base. Just pull that right in half. All right. You will need your designer series paper. And I'll show you which piece I used here. Oh, I should show you the finished card, huh? So you know what you're working with. This is our card. So we're going to step this one up just a tad. We're going to be using our blends to color in our sled a little bit. I'm going to get all this stuff out of my die here. Now, if your little wheelie guy doesn't take it out, just take the other end of your take a pick tool and pop it out. So you can take this on and just, it's just a little putzier, but you can definitely do it. Come on. You can take a lint roller as long as your lint roller is not too sticky because you don't want to rip your paper, but that will also work too. I don't always recommend that because, like I said, it tears your paper very easily. Okay, this is taking forever to do. Hopefully all yours popped out easier. Usually if you have that little piece of foam underneath when you're rolling that, it does pop out easier. Mine's just across the room, and instead of getting up and grabbing it, I'm just going to poke them out. All right. I think I got them all. Oh, there's one left. All right. Now I got to get my mess out of here. Hold please while I do that. Only because I just don't want it all over myself. Well, okay. I just got it all over myself. I meant all over my projects. I just cleaned that chair. Okay. All right. So you have a piece of blueberry bushel, and you have a piece of basic white. Basic white's going to be for your inside. Blueberry bushel is for your layer on the outside. You're going to have your strip of designer series paper, and that strip measures 2 by 5 1/8 inch. So let's get our designer series paper cut. You can use whatever piece you want. This is the piece I happen to be using. So let's cut that down. Now, normally I'd probably have all that cut ahead of time when I'm doing one of these, but I thought, hey, since we're crafting together, I would cut right along with you. So we need it 2 inches by 5 1/8. So let's cut our 2 inches first. Actually, I want to cut my 5 1/8 first. I lied. I'm just thinking about how to save paper here. That's all. So I have this bigger chunk. And then 2 inches here. All right. Now I can definitely save this piece for the inside of my card. I'll be cutting a strip that's just a little bit smaller than that. Or you can use the large strip. You could make it a little gift card holder. We're just going to stamp one of the sentiments in there. Okay. Again, I left it up to your own demise, whatever you want to say, for whatever you want to do with the inside of your card. All right, so we're going to just adhere these two together. So I'll get this right on there. Now, when you're playing with your own stuff, if you wanted to add a little bit of embossed background to that, you could. You could definitely stamp some snowflakes on there. I am just going to do it just how it is. I'm trying to behave and not go rogue on you because I want you to have your directions. All right, now we're going to bring back in our stamp here. You can actually stamp this as well and then adhere it, but we've got our pieces here. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my Smoky Slate here with my Memento Black. And I do want to make sure I have this really inked. Okay, too inked. It's going to probably make a little blur. But I just want to make sure that it's well inked. I'm going to stamp on this. It's going to be pretty dark over there, but I had too much juice on it. Oh, I guess not. All right. Not bad. If I wanted to make it a little darker, again, I could take my Stampin' Write marker and color along there if I want to make it darker. I'm not so worried about it. It's kind of like faded. That's fine. And I'm going to bring now in my blends. I'm going to bring my Smoky Slate blends. And with the dark smoky slate, I'm going to color my, kind of my frame here. So go right in between here. Now, blends behave a little different when you're doing cardstock. Okay, cardstock is going to absorb it more than the white. Just so you're aware. Because it might like bleed, not really bleed a lot, but it'll bleed into other areas a little bit. All right, so that's what we got there. I'm just going to take my brush side now, and I'm just going to go ahead and go along here. Now, if you're not comfortable using the brush side, just flip it over and use your chisel side. Totally up to you. I like using my brush so I can get it in one swoop. Okay, if you have any questions while I'm doing this, ask and I'll stop and go over something. And I'm just coloring this in. Okay, so who all out there loves this stamp set? Is this something that you feel like you need? We did another card the other day with this stamp set. There we go. Which I still have to, I believe I still have to upload that to YouTube. Okay, so we've got that one cut. Now, I mean, at least stamped. Now I'm going to pull in my wreath. And this time, I'm going to stamp this with Early Espresso. Oh, I think I said Memento Black on my directions, but I'm stamping it with actually Early Espresso. And I felt like the branches just needed to be brown. But you can definitely use the black. It'll work out either way. And now we're going to pull in some different color blends. We're going to pull in our soft seafoam, our blueberry bushel, and our soft shaded spruce. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my, I'm going to bring my finished card in so you can see what I stamped here. There you go. I'm going to start with my soft seafoam here. I don't need that. I don't know why I keep grabbing that to do something with. I don't need that quite yet. And now I'm just going to color in all the different areas here. So let's see. I'm going to start with right here. Now you can choose the light or the dark. I'll show you the difference. So here's the light. And how bright you want it. And here's the dark. All right, so there's the difference here. Let me bring it up to you a little bit. So, totally up to you on what you want to use. I can use the dark for right now just so you can see what I'm coloring. Probably easier. Just coloring some of the leaves. Now, because I went with such a cool palette on my card, I'm not going to color my berries in like a normal, like red. I'm going to color them in blueberry bushel. Right. Now, usually I almost always miss a leaf, so I'll be coming back. All right, so let's go ahead and do our, I'm going to do these in dark. And I'm not really blending, so that's why I chose to use my Early Espresso, because I'm not going to really worry about bleeding too much, because again, if you're not blending a lot, you're not moving that ink around. All right, and I'm just randomly putting some of these dark. I'll come back in and fill with some of them light. I'll come back in with the light. So it's totally up to you what you like. I mean, maybe you don't like the lighter color. Maybe you want to keep it dark. Totally up to you. Just coloring along. these, and we'll get our berries. Make sure I got all my leaves colored there, just looking around. All right, and then I'm going to take my light blueberry bushel and color in my berries. I chose this just because that was the color I used in my background layer there, and also in the designer series paper. I just kind of felt that it needed to be there. Okay, so I've got those done. We'll move these out of the way. And I want to stamp my Let It Snow. Get my stamping done. And I smudged on that. Oh, well. We'll use the other side. Oh, I'm going to cover that piece anyways. So I had a little smudge there. I know that I'm going to be covering that, so I'm not too worried. Now what's key here is when you're stamping this sentiment, you want to stamp it up in the far right corner. Oh, okay, not that a circle has a corner, but you know what I mean. So we got Let It Snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Okay, are you singing Christmas songs with me? All right, so I'm going to do right about here. So it was a little bit higher than before, but that'll be fine. Put that back in its little home. And I should clean this. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my inside right away. Again, I'm just going to come back in and do some little snowflakes. Stamp as many or as few as you would like. All right. Oh, darn. All right. I'll clean those off in a minute. I just need a little sip of water. Okay, let's see if any comments. Yep. Ooh. Well, Anne, I hope the thunderstorms aren't too bad. I'll be also reposting this on YouTube. That way, it's just easier to find on my YouTube channel. So, there we go. You can either watch it here on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll make sure I send out a link with it. All right, let's go ahead and just put this on the inside of our card. I like doing the opposite corners because you know what? No matter what way I put the card on the inside, it's always going to be correct. Just a little side note me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this one. Oh, wow. I must have been making a ton of cards because I'm on a seal there. All right. I'm not really centering it. I'm moving it off more to the right. And I'll show you why, because we're going to be die cutting some stuff out here. So let's get those die cut. All right. So I've got my sled there. I just need my wreath. All right. So I'll do it this way so you can see. So now I'm just kind of moving my wreath around until it fits in there. I feel like I gotta... When I first dropped it on, I dropped it on just right, and I was like, oh, I want to show them how to fit this, and yeah, okay. So I just gotta turn until you find it. Okay, all right, here we go. That's sticking out there. That doesn't work. There we go. So what I look for is I look for those pieces that were sticking out. It just made it easier just to find it. All right. So we'll put this down. I like to hold it with my thumb, at least until I get into that roller part. That way I know it's where I want it to be if I haven't taped it down. There we go. Just throw away our scrap here. Let's get our sled going. Okay, this is the one that hopped around on me before. Hopefully it won't this time. Well, now it's breaking because I forgot to do that. I'm like, where did I put my top plate? All right. Yeah, it's been a little rainy here today too. Not too bad. I mean, my plants definitely needed it. Alright. There we go. Okay, let's close that up for now. Get this little home. Okay, bring back in our card base and our wreath. And we need dimensionals. Just saying. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just turn my wreath whatever way I see kind of like it fitting best on here. And then I can figure out where I want to put my ribbon. Okay, I like it like that. I like it like that. And I'll go ahead and put some dimensionals on. Put it right here, kind of like it's hanging from the top of that there. I'm then going to come in with my pebble path this time. Again, use whichever colors float your boat, doesn't matter. It's your card kit. You can do with it what you want. All right. All right, so now when I'm trying to pull this bow and it's twisting, I kind of hold it with my thumb there and I gently pull so it doesn't like get all twisted. All right, I want a little bit smaller bow because I found once it starts twisting, then there's no recovery. All right, so these I want to straighten out a little bit. I'm going to make sure I'm holding my knot. Okay, and I can trim it down like I need. Let's see. Let's even get this to turn in just a little bit. I'm going to be putting it right here. You can put your bow wherever you would like, wherever, you know. I usually kind of look at where I stamped and where I like, and sometimes I'll put it here, sometimes I'll put it on the side. What I did with this one is I actually tucked it in right here, so it wouldn't be pushed up so much from the card. So that's what I'm going to do here again. I'm going to go ahead and take my glue dot. Where'd they go? Oh, right next to me. And I'm actually going to take my glue dot and put it on my cardstock this time. Right in here. I'll pull. I'll put my knot right on there. Just kind of press it in there. Okay. I need to go wherever I kind of tug them to be. If I want them to stay in a particular place, I could add a glue dot, but I'm not going to be really particular with this one, though. They can go wherever they want. All right. It's kind of the whole idea of the rustic sled, right? Okay, now we need glue dots in the back of here, or not glue dots, dimensionals on the back of here. I want to make sure I'm supporting my sled. All right. So this craft along is kind of like if you were actually at my house doing it with me and I'm hanging out with you and you're stamping with other people. Okay. So now we need our gems again. And this particular one, I chose the blue and the green. So I'm going to add a large blue. Go down here with that. And then I'm going to add a large green. Maybe over here. A small little blue over here. Add another one up here. And I think we'll add one more right down here. Okay. But you can sprinkle those all over wherever you'd like on your card. So that is our third card. We are cruising through these tonight. I'm just going to give you a moment to catch up here, and I'm going to just put some things away while you're catching up. I'm hoping I'm not going too fast for those of you that are crafting along with me. So yeah, each month at the last day of the, I'm going to try to keep it on Mondays. I kind of think Mondays will work. Last Monday of the month, I will be doing this, a craft along. I'll feature a different bundle every time, every month. Now, if the Monday's going to be a holiday, I'm not going to do it on the holiday, sorry. Since I'm planning on doing live so often, I would rather not do it on a holiday. And I'll just get all these cleaned out. Sometimes with my larger stamp, I find it much easier to take my chamois to my stamp. Especially if I get it in those little grooves. Alright. Okay, let me get these back in their little thing here, and then we'll get moving along to the next card. Again, I'm just kind of waiting for people to catch up on things. Let's see, that was not in the right spot. So the next one is I don't want to say more putty. It's just, it looks like it's really busy. It's not. It was actually a pretty fun card to make. But I wanted to step things up a little bit by, you know, using our dies, using our embossing folders. You know, if you don't have the same embossing folder that I do, use the one that you have. You know, it could be polka dots. It could be, you know, the wood grain. You don't necessarily have to use the snowflake one that I'm using, but if you don't have the snowflake one and you like it, now it's the time to get it so you can use it for your Christmas cards. Okay. All right. Let's put all the blocks back where they belong. So when I go to reach for them, they're back in their home. I'm really trying to keep myself in check here. All right, so let's get our next card. And this is our fourth card here. So let's see here. I need my card to show you. Oh, it's sitting right here. Let's pull out the pieces. All right. Okay. And we have lots of pieces in this one. So we have a thick card base, 4 1/4 by 11. Go ahead and fold that in half. You need to use your bone folder. Go ahead. All right. And then I've got a piece of cherry cobbler, which is cut just a tad smaller. And then I have my piece of basic white that's already been embossed with the Snowflake 3D embossing folder. Again, I always like to have my more snowflakes in the sky. You can turn it whichever way you like. You also have a 4x4 piece of white glimmer paper. You have a piece of pecan pie for your sled. So I'm going to show you how to make your sled. You will again need your silver foil. And you have a piece of shaded spruce for all the different dies that we're going to be doing. You have a little banner tag, and then you have a piece of white to stamp your birds on. So we're going to get going on all that. And this card, I'm actually not using any designer series paper. Can you believe it? Yeah, I decided to do something a little different with you. Okay, so I am going to bring this in. Let's just get a couple things over here. I really just want to have this die cut. So just put a little piece on there and run it through your die cut machine. We're going to use this one since I already have a die cut. It's going to save a little time there. And the other thing that you'll probably want to do, you could use your pecan and die cut it with this too. It's totally up to you. It's not a bad piece. I'll show you what it's like to not use that adhesive sheet. But if you want to, I gave you a big enough piece. So there we go. I should have a big enough piece to cut like both things here. Now, this one piece actually is 2 parts of the sled. So this is the base of your sled, and that's the upper part of your sled. Just so you know that, all right? So we have that there. I actually did find it much easier to have my adhesive sheet on this one here. Not necessarily the big part, but on that little part. We got that. We need to stamp our wreath. So let's pull back in our wreath. Did I put the stamp set away? Yes, I did. I don't know why I did that. Okay. I need the wreath. Oh, I should leave this card out for you so you can see what we're doing as we're doing it. We need the little birds. So there's only one bird on there. And we need good tidings. Right. So now we will grab our early espresso and then our black memento. Okay, so those are the two things we're going to be using. We also will pull in our cherry cobbler blends. Let's do our stamping first. I'm going to get to this one first. This I'm actually doing in my early espresso again. And I'm hoping that I put that in the tutorial. Like I said, I may have actually put Memento Black just because I was on a roll trying to get it written. So I'm hoping I put the right color, but you can choose which you like better. If you like the Memento or if you like the early espresso. I'm just restamping this because part of my leaves didn't get stamped over there. All right, that's much better. All right, I need to clean that because it's really inky. And I've got ink all over my hands. All right. Well, we're not doing bad on time. All right, I am going to show you a couple little tips afterwards that are not in the tutorial. Just some added bonus for you. Make sure that you share this video with your friends and family or fellow crafters that you know. My goal is to reach 1,000 viewers on my YouTube channel. Actually, I'd like to get more, but I'm going to start with 1,000 there. I'm not even sure where I'm at the moment. I didn't look. But that's my goal. I know what my goal was. All right, so I'm done with my early espresso. We're going to stamp 3 little birds on my doorstep, singing sweet songs. Okay, so I've been singing that Bob Marley song to my grandchildren because I just love that song. And my granddaughter, every time I start singing it, she is just like totally intent watching me. But there's pauses in this song. So like you're not singing or anything. It's like, you know, the harmony when they're playing. Well, I can't do the harmony part with my voice because that's, you know, I have a bad enough voice as it is. So she like loses her attention. And then as soon as I start singing again, then her attention's right there. It's really kind of funny. All right, so I'm grabbing my cherry cobbler here. I'm going to start off with my light cherry cobbler. And I'm just going to use the chisel side just because it's kind of delicate. Now I could pull in some sort of yellow for the beak, but you know what? I actually left this white. All right. I'm just making sure I'm not coloring my beak in by mistake there. So we've been having more and more cardinals by us all the time. I mean, since, I would say April, May, I've been noticing a lot of them. And for a while there, they were coming to visit on my porch. But I haven't been going out so much in the morning lately. But they'll come and sit on our railing. And they don't care if I'm out there. They'll just sit there and just keep an eye on me, watch me drink my coffee. You know, and then as soon as the dog comes running up the porch, they fly away. Sometimes they stay, though, which I'm kind of surprised at. And I'm just adding a little bit of dark to the tail and his belly. Okay, there we go. Now, if you didn't have the blends, you can easily color those with markers. All right, so I think we're ready to die cut. Oh, we're not. So here's two things. Now, on my original one, I actually used my enamel effects, the Pearl Enamel Effects. You can use a blend, so I'm going to just show you what that looks like. Okay, you're not going to really see that color much. And you could use the snow puffs that I got. So I'm going to cut this in half because I want to just show you what the snow puffs will look like since I'm here doing it. And where are my snow puffs? Okay, that's pearlized. There we go. Okay. Let's shake this up really good. You do have to shake this really, really well before you use it. And I tend to shake it between uses too. So shake it up super well. Then you can just dot. And be careful when you squeeze out. Okay, this one I think is jammed. So let me grab a little scrap piece of paper here so I don't ooze it all over my work surface. Yeah, this is a little stuck. Okay. There's a little needle here. I told you this is one of my open ones. Oh yeah, definitely was dried there. Okay, now let's try it. Oh yeah, that scared me. I told you it comes out fast. So just put, you may not be able to even like dot when it first comes out where those dots are. So you may just have to dab it a little bit. All right. So you want to play around with it. Obviously, after I got clogged like that. The next thing to do is I'm going to actually take some of this off and I'm going to redo it. So I'm just going to try it like that. I'm just going to dab it. Dab it, darn it. Okay. All right. And I'm just going to, yeah, see that? It's the first time you squeeze it, it comes out a lot. So, oh well. After you've got it going, it's not so bad. Right, see, I don't like how that's turning out. I need to clean it back off again. Let's try it again. I'll just blot it up here. Now, most likely, it's going to put all sorts of, oh, come on. This is just user error because I'm squeezing that bottle too much before I dab it. Again, I can't go exactly where those berries are because it's kind of small. So I'm just going sort of where they are to use it as a guideline. Okay. Now, if it dries, it's going to dry like a milky clear on there, which you can definitely leave, or you can puff it up. So we're going to puff it up really quick just so you can see what it's going to look like. So those of you that got the craft along and got this little extra tidbit in your kit, so you can add little berries like that. The other thing I've done is I've added, I'm just going to show you on the same Same little guy here. I've taken my pearlized enamel. Now, the key with this is do your die cutting first. Have this as the very last thing that you're going to do. I would not necessarily adhere it to your card right away, because if you don't get it right, you'd be bummed. So I'm just squeezing just a little bit here. And it's going to get that little whipped kind of look, that little Hershey Kiss kind of look. And that's fine. It will flatten out as it dries. Okay. So now, once I have these here, I will set this aside and I will let it dry overnight. I don't actually know how many hours it'll take to dry, but I do it overnight. So I take this in a place where I'm not going to accidentally bump it, touch it, even get near it. So I put it completely away from me, because it never fails. I will smoosh it and get it all over the place. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to just move it completely out of the way. I'll leave it there. I really should have die cut that first, but I'll probably end up just fussy cutting it out. All right, so I'm going to die cut this one. And I'll show you what other things that you can do with this. Whoopsie. Let's put my plate on. And my wreath. And I have more snow fun to share with you in just a minute. After we get this card done, we'll grab our sled. Again, I'm just lining up these pieces. Where's the piece that sticks out the furthest? If I'd be smart, I would have labeled my stamp and made a mark on my dies, so I always know my top and bottom, but I did not. Okay. Here we go. All right. So what do you all think so far? Do you like these? Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my my notifications off on my phone. Okay. Now, I originally made the card. I did color some things on there. I did color those in. I just decided it looked, I don't know. I decided I wanted to do it with cardstock. I still need to cut out my birds and my sled here. So let's get that piece done. So where are my birds? So we've got our little tiny bird right here. So do my sled first, and then I'll do my bird. I know it's your feeding time. Sorry, my dog came in to let me know that he is hungry and his bowl is empty. So I told him he has to wait. It's okay. He won't starve. It's not like he's spoiled or anything. All right. So we've got that part of our sled cut. So here again, we have the top part of our sled and the bottom part of our sled. We need a way to connect it all together. So the way that we do that is with our silver foil. So you will need a piece of silver foil that is about this wide. So this is how I measure. It's about this wide, and then I just take my scissors. All right, so I'm going to take my scissors and my trimmer. Now here's a tip. If you were to make more skate cards, what I would do is, I just want to get this cut down first. So I'm cutting this, I think at, let's see, I'm going to go just over 2.5 inches. What did I cut my other smoky slate at? I cut it at, oh, I did 2.5 inches. Okay, so you can do it at 2.5 inches. All right. So I'll cut this piece at 2.5. All right. That's because I'm not cutting this piece. Man alive. I'm showing you the wrong piece. What was I thinking? I need the one that looks kind of like a ladder. All right. So I've cut way more than I needed. It only has to be like 1 3/4 inches. Okay. All right. So anyways, so when you're doing this, to save yourself some paper, what you can do is we're going to put our adhesive foil on here. Or I'm not going to for this particular one. And the reason I'm not going to is because I am not needing to adhere that to my, excuse me, I don't need to adhere it to anything. I'm going to have this sled connected to this. So what I'm going to normally do is, if I were to be adhering this right down to my cardstock, I would take this and I'd take my blades. I put my little blades right in there and I would die cut those right away. In this case, I have enough extra space to cut it here. So when you're cutting that, if you want some extra skates, you know, put your adhesive sheet out and then cut your blades right away. That way you only have to do it once. Okay. So let's go ahead and die cut this. And sorry, I got distracted because my dog really does keep bothering me. Would you stop? I can mess up all on my own. I don't need your help. Really. All right. Oh. I'm just trying to do some paper saving here. Just because I wasn't paying attention when I was telling you what to cut. All right. So that width was only 1 3/4. There we go. Now definitely when you're cutting the foil with the adhesive sheet on, run it through twice. Right. So now you're going to have all this little excess. So it should all pop off. Now, some of it, like I said, that bigger section, that would fit skates. So I'm just going to put these off to the side. We're just going to push them under everything because we don't really need to see them. The other thing I need to do is just finish with my birds. We'll get that all die cut. Then we'll assemble our sled. Okay, now definitely with the birds, I need a little bit of Post-it note tape. Alrighty. So here's my Post-it note tape. There we go. I didn't need to go back. I just happened to make it easier on myself to roll it back. So one little bird. Two little birds. And then the third. One to go. And then we'll play around with the snow and the sled. Now that is something that's not included with the class kit. That was just for the people who ordered the Craft Along class ahead of time. That was a little thank you gift from me to you. So we have a couple more days of July left, and I'll be doing a couple more Christmas cards. Yeah, just for the fun of it. And then later in the week, I'll be announcing the August Club and September, August Craft Along and class. All right, so we're going to get to assembling some of our pieces here. The other thing I want to make sure I cut. So I have a piece of 4x4 shimmer paper. I am just going to take my scissors and I am just going to make some wavy kind of cuts. Make it look kind of like a little, you'll make it however you want. I gave you a large enough piece to cut however you want, and you can cut multiple if you wanted. All right. So this is going to go on my card base. So let's start assembling our card base, then we'll get to this layer. And I'm going to run out of adhesive. Okay. So I've got my cherry cobbler going onto my thick basic white base. All right, just like that. I am going to take my liquid glue here because I want to make sure that my shimmer paper there is going to stick to my embossed paper. So you can use whichever side you like. I just feel like if I'm embossing, I want to have it all. All right, so I'm going to add just a little bit of liquid glue here. All right. I'll add some right to the top right here. We'll just smear that up a little bit. There we go. Line that up. That way, if it's not lined up good, you can trim it down before you actually put it onto your card. It's like I didn't have it trimmed really good here, so I'm just going to take that little piece off. All right. We'll go ahead and just put this onto our card base. Twist that on. All right, there we go. Okay, now for assembling our little thing here, I'm going to grab my precision tip glue, and I am just going to put it along this right here, right, this one right here, and kind of just a couple little dots along this one, and then I'm going to put some little dots along here, and along here, and that's going to all be showing, so we'll put a little bit up on here. Okay. All right, now that I got that there, now I can layer my pieces. So we've got our top little piece here, so that's going to go right over here. Okay, so I got that one there. All right, now I take this one, and I'm going to make sure my little holes are all punched out, which I see they're not, so that I can see the kind of the rivets of the silver foil. And we'll just put that right here. So I'm lining those up. Just like that. And don't worry if you don't have a lot of adhesive there. We're going to be putting some dimensionals on so that it'll be also covered. But if it's sticking up like this, go ahead and just put a little more glue on it. Okay. All right, so now I have some liquid glue on my table here, so let me just get my handy dandy hand sanitizer and just to get it off. Just because I didn't have anything else to use right now, and I want that sticky off. Okay, all right. Okay, we'll get our little lid on this for the moment. Okay. Now, I'm going to take, better not lose that, I'm taking this. Oh, I forgot to do my, this is going to be a little putsy, so bear with me. So, I forgot the adhesive sheet, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and just dab little dots of glue, and I do mean little dots, randomly around some of these leaves here. I just really want to stick to the sled, so I'm going to place this right there on my sled. Now, when I flip this over, So you can see I have extra glue dots I didn't really need, but it happens. All right, we're going to take some of our dimensionals now. And when I put my dimensionals on, I'm going to make sure that I'm catching both the pecan pie and the foil. So I'm adding those right there. I am going to come back in with some minied ones here, but for the most part, it's these larger ones. But for the areas that I have, like these bows here, I'm going to use my minis. Well, you know what? I bet a big one could fit right there, but I bet it could have. All right. And we'll just put another one right here. All right, so now we'll just pick all these off. So in the craft alongs, I'm going to try to always share with you some techniques that we wouldn't necessarily do in a class, in addition to the cards in the class. All right, so now where's the wreath I cut out? Here it is. Here's my wreath. Okay. Now, on this one, I didn't have the pearl effects on there, so I need to have something, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to come back and color in some of my little gems here. I might even just add these little green ones. We'll see if the red will go over that. If you have some of the small purple ones, the red will go over that. But all right, so now for my wreath, notice I'm going to be overlapping it kind of on my sled. So I don't want to put it dimensional there. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of losing my words. One here, one here, and one here. All right. We'll get rid of that. So I'm just going to put that right there. I've got my little birds. Let's get our little birds added on. Okay. I'm going to use a small dimensional for my birds. So 2 of them I'm popping up on dimensionals, and 1 I will just put on liquid glue. So let's see. This one's going to go right here. We're kind of in our wreath. This one's going to go up on the sled. So this is still dimensionalized. And then this one is going to be in the background with a little bit of glue. Right here, just tuck them wherever you want. Okay. All right, we've got our, I like to hold it in place for a minute because it's trying to stick to that glitter. So just hold it in place for a second, well, not a minute, seconds. Okay, and now we're going to add our sentiment. So this will actually be wide enough for you to put the large dimensionals on. And I'm just going to have it overlap kind of right here. Okay, we'll tie our bow, but let's go ahead and try out the dark cherry cobbler on the green here. So let's take my brush side here and I'm trying to go around gently so I don't break down my brush tip. I might have to do it with my chisel side here. So I'm just going around coloring the whole thing. You see a little bit of green in there, but I don't think it's too bad. All right. Again, like I said, I used enamel effects for mine. But if you don't have that handy, you can color these in. So this dries pretty quick because it is the alcohol blends. So 1, 2, well, that was too far to where I'm going to put that bow. Oh, well. 3. Okay. So I'll just have to adjust where my bow goes. All right, and I'm going to grab my Pebble Path again. If you wanted to use one of the other colors, you definitely could. A small little bow. Again, I'm going to pull that tail. I'm going to hold that loop so it doesn't get twisted. I'm going to tug. I'll snip it. Snip it. All right. I'm just going to add it right here. Since I kind of goofed up where I was putting that holly, or whatever I want to call it. Glue that, glue that, glue that. All right, I lost the glue dots. Where did I put them? Okay, I lost my regular glue dots, so I guess I'll just grab this little strip. All right. I just had them in my hand. I don't know. Maybe I put them back in the box. I bet that's what I did. All right. And just, well, I thought I was going to just do that. I don't know where the glue dot went. Here it is. All right. Kind of rolled up on me there. All righty. And we'll just put it right in here. So, that is it for this card. Again, on the inside, I just stamped some snowflakes, same way as I did before. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our little sled. So I pre-stamped this one, and I'll show you just a little fun with your snow effects. So again, whenever I'm using the snow effects, I got to shake it up really good. Another tip about the enamel effects. When you've used your sheet like this, keep this sheet, because you can put your enamel effects on here and you can actually make nice little dots. I mean, it'll stick to there while it's drying, and then when it's ready to dry, you can slide it off. All right. So we're going to just take a little snow, like right here, right across the top. I'm not trying to be in a straight line. I'm kind of, then we can add some snow over here on top. Maybe add some snow across the bottom. I'm just randomly putting it on there. Okay. All right, so then, well, I want this screw shut. There it is. I'm going to move these projects out of the way. I'm going to take our, this is not the hair dryer, buddy. I'm going to actually grab my pliers again, my tweezers, just so I can hold it down. And this, and you just heat till it puffs. You do have to make sure it's puffed all the way, because it'll have a liquid center if you don't. See how that one came up just a little bit more? So just make sure you've got it all heated. You can always come back and add more puff. Can you see all that rising? Now, I'm not sure if this is actually back in our Stampin' Up! Store. I don't believe it is. But it was some extra stuff that I had left from previous classes that I just wanted to gift you. So there you go. So now you got some snow puff on it. Just a really cute way to add a little something to your card. All right. And there's one other thing I wanted to share with your little sleds here. So I just got to find my little... Oh, where's my little... I'm looking for my small punch holder here. There's this one. There. So the other thing you can do is you can actually punch a little hole. Right there. Right there. Okay. We're going to take our ribbon. Yeah, we'll take this one, our ribbon, our linen thread. So I'm just gonna go through one side, go through the other side. I'm gonna leave a big loop like that. And then in the back, instead of making this really bulky, I can go ahead, cut my linen thread. I can just tape this down. Oh, my tape's a little bit longer than I needed. I just squished my snow. All right. Oh yeah, I just squished it. Okay, I'll have to puff it up again. But anyways, so now you got a little pull for your sled. All right. So that is it for this class. Thanks for joining the craft along. Again, if you spend $40 in my online store up till Thursday, you can get the 4 card kits. So it comes with everything that you need to have except, well, in this case, I will be cutting your designer series paper just to give you the pieces that you need. If you want the whole craft class, sorry, I was getting all the different cards out. If you want the 4 card kits, plus the designer series paper, plus the jute and stuff, just let me know. I will see how many I still have available. And yeah, you won't be getting the, yeah, you'll get the jute and the gems. You won't get the extra little things that I put in for the original folks. But yeah, you can get that too. So take care. Have a great evening. And we'll see you all again for the rest of the week. Not sure what I have planned for tomorrow, but I'll have something. Wednesday is our Hump Day Lunch Break Live. And Thursday night is our Stampin' Fun and More. And I'll be announcing, like I said, additional clubs and classes for August that will be coming up. All right. Take care. Thank you. Uh-oh, I can't shut down I can't end my live yet. Okay, here we go.